if Naruto was Madara and Hashirama's grandson part 4, let's go. Naruto gets to class just in time, but, well, of course his new brother and sister get to class first, as he didn't want to use his shinobi powers to get to school when everyone can see him in clear daylight. So he decided to stroll along normally at the same pace that they did, just staying about 100 meters, 300 feet if you're American, behind them. Naruto's just about to get to class when he sees the teacher going into class first, but he wasn't going to let that slide, as from the moment he's standing in front of the academy, basically teleports to right behind where the teacher was, as he didn't want to be late on his first day, and then he casually walks into the class before the teacher can mark anyone as late. The teacher's kind of shocked that they have a new student, but accepts it, no difficulty, and Naruto introduces himself just as Naruto. Then when asked where he wants to sit, he just sits next to Tsuki, who along with Sasuke are sitting in the middle of the classroom on the right side near the window, Sasuke looking out of the window, Tsuki paying attention to class as always. Tsuki is actually pretty happy that Naruto is sitting there now, because she kind of started liking Naruto a little bit more when she actually got to know him, and she already kind of forgot the whole challenging Naruto thing. Alright, Iruka says, smiling. So, if you didn't know, from now on I will be your classroom teacher, and we will get to know each other for the next 4 years. Isn't that exciting? 4 years? What a drag, Shikamaru says, already not looking forward for the next few years in the academy. I'm sure it'll be okay, Shikamaru, Choji says, who had already known Shikamaru for quite a while. Meanwhile, he was, as always, eating a bag of chips. Not eating the bag, of course, he's eating the chips. No duh. I'm way too strong for these guys. What am I even doing here? Sasuke, what do you mean? It's gonna be fun, Tsuki says, trying to lighten up the mood. Especially with Naruto here. It's gonna be a blast. Once you got to know her, Tsuki is actually a pretty happy and fun person to be around. I'm glad you think that way, Tsuki, Naruto responded. But my only goal here is just to make friends. That is my mission after all. Well, that seems pretty lonely. I'm sure you'll find friends, Tsuki said, but then being interrupted by Sakura, who was sitting in the center middle of the room, who is now laughing, saying, You don't have friends? What a loser. Well, I mean, I have only been to this village since yesterday, so it's been less than 24 hours, so it was kinda hard to make any friends realistically. Only yesterday? Sakura was wondering where he came from, so she asked. Oh, well, I actually lived with my grandfather pretty far away from here. Oh, your grandpa? Ina asked. Was he a shinobi, or why do you want to become one? Yeah, you're actually right. He was a shinobi. Pretty strong one at that, but sadly he passed away yesterday morning, hence I came here. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Ina responded. Alright guys, enough with the chit chat. Iruka continued. Today we're gonna see where everyone's at and how far you've already gone. Perhaps some of you have done training with your parents, who knows, but nothing is required, so we just want to see where you're at, which is why we're gonna do some sparring matches. It's gonna be a one-on-one fight, but nothing serious, so none of you should get injured. So now, follow me to outside, and we can start the matches. Yes. On day 1, I can start defeating everyone here, Sasuke said, wanting to dominate everything, including the academy. When everyone stood outside, ready to fight and begin the matches, Hiruzen, the third Hokage, as well as Mizuki, another Chunin teacher, sensei, came out of the shadows And Hiruzen explained that instead of having the future Genin fight each other, they should all have an even playing ground and actually fight Mizuki. Now, this fight would be assessed on how long they could last in a fight, as it ended whenever they were pinned down by Mizuki or gave up. He wasn't gonna kill them, of course. He probably was not gonna knock them out either. He had no biases against anyone there, and he was actually a somewhat peaceful soul. One by one, the academy students went up and fought Mizuki, some lasting only about 10 to 15 seconds, others lasting 1 or 2 minutes, which was very good. Athletic people who might be a little faster or already had some physical training done were of course doing much better, as no one really knew that many jutsu, so it was mostly about physical abilities and taijutsu, if any. And then it was Tsuki's turn, but of course not before her twin brother Sasuke. He was called up first as always and wanted to destroy Mizuki and even win the fight, and yelled out loud that he was going to be the only one to actually win the match. Instead of being assessed on a timer, he was going to beat the Chunin. Mizuki kind of laughed it off, and then the fight began. 4 minutes, that's pretty damn good. I didn't expect that from you, kid, Mizuki said, then standing up as he was sitting on Sasuke's back, who he had pinned down earlier after Sasuke made a stupid mistake of trying to punch Mizuki in the face, but then Mizuki quite literally turned the battle around and almost knocked Sasuke out due to the strength of pushing him to the ground. Well, best fighter so far. Now, Tsuki Uchiha, your turn. She didn't say much, but did very well either way, even better than Sasuke did. She lasted 5 minutes. By quite a bit, by far the best fighter so far, and the Proctor Iruka, Mizuki, and even Hiruzen was very surprised. Sasuke's score was already pretty good, by far the best. The second best was Shikamaru, who had been able to outsmart his opponent and lasted 3 minutes. Then Sasuke got 4 minutes, and Tsuki blew everything out of proportion with 5 minutes. Now, Naruto Uchiha. Uchiha? Sakura asked. Naruto didn't say anything as he walked up to the field where the fights were happening at, as all the academy students stood in basically a line on the side near the building of the academy, with Hiruzen and Iruka standing next to them, a little bit rotated. So now Tsuki walked towards the spectators, with Naruto basically switching places with her. "You got this," Tsuki yelled, which made Naruto smile, and now he was determined to win. Before the match began, he stood in his Madara-style taijutsu position, with Mizuki, who looked like he was gonna jump right at him when the match begun. And he did. Mizuki was quite a predictable fighter, at least in Naruto's eyes. He didn't even need to use the sharingan to know exactly what Mizuki was gonna do, as Madara did not only teach his own style to his grandson, but also many others that were likely to be used against him. Hence, Naruto had a lot of battle experience without even having any battle experience, if that makes sense. He was basically taught Madara's decades of experience in only 5 years, and even then surpassed Madara in certain areas. So when Mizuki jumped right at Naruto, dashing forward, trying to hit him to teach him a lesson, as he thought Naruto was a little bit overconfident, he saw that Naruto walked up straight with his nose held high. He got this from Madara, as of course Madara told him and taught him everything, and over the years he also brought over his pride, but Naruto didn't really mind, as of course he easily countered Mizuki by sidestepping to the left and then chopping Mizuki on the neck. Once again, he didn't need to use any special style or any dojutsu, just a simple chop was enough, as Naruto's base speed and strength was enough to knock out Mizuki. Naruto Uzumaki won. Oh my goodness. He's kind of similar to Minato was. Lord Fourth? I mean, sure. Iruka responded to Hiruzen's comment. Actually, I shouldn't say that, Hiruzen thought. He shouldn't say anything about Naruto's heritage before he opened up to it publicly, as it would just cause problems, and if anyone from outside the village heard, well, Minato was not the most popular guy, not to speak of Madara, and Hashirama also, yeah. Naruto's heritage, a little bit complicated, so Hiruzen should not talk about it for now, and no one really should except for Naruto. And for now, even more important is, Hiruzen would have to hide the fact that he only came to see these matches was just to see Naruto fight, and partially the two other Uchiha who were rumored to be very strong too, similar to their older brother Itachi, who had blown all proportions off and was even compared to Minato, a living legend at the time. But yeah, mostly just Naruto. Hiruzen was very curious after all. For knocking out and winning by knocking out his opponent, I'm gonna give Naruto an addition of the best score so far, which is 5 minutes, bringing his total fight time and lasting in the match of 5 minutes and 1 second. Therefore, currently Naruto holds the record, Hiruzen announced. They tried to wake up Mizuki back for him to finish the matches for it to actually be fair, but then Iruka had to jump in as Mizuki was not showing any response. He tried his best to fight at the same level that Mizuki was fighting at, as they weren't gonna fight with their full power. They all used a, well, constant, pretty normal level of power. Now all the matches are finished and no new records were broken, bringing Naruto the number 1 and the victory, making him the king of the leaderboard, with Tsuki being just technically 1 second behind Naruto, and then the nearest one being Sasuke being about 4 minutes. Well done everyone, especially the top 3 Uchihas, Iruka said. Especially you, Naruto, you did extremely well. Really was not expecting that from a newcomer, but hey, you're incredible. You did great, Naruto, Tsuki said. Oh, thanks. But we were basically tied, and actually you did last longer in the fight anyways. And even if we don't count that, you are second after all, Naruto said, trying to correct her. Well, that is all true, but you're the only one that managed to actually beat the opponent, and either way, you were 1 second better than me, so just accept the compliment. I guess you're right. Thank you. Wait a minute. If we're talking here about something good, does that mean we're friends? Naruto asked, curious. Tsuki did not know how she should react to this, as she just tried to shrug it off. I mean, yeah, I guess. Sure, we're friends. Yes. Now, I'm on a good way to complete my mission, grandfather. I'll make you proud. I have already made a friend. Now the whole class was staring at him. Is he kidding? Sakura asked, a little bit weirded out. He's kinda weird, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, but that kind of has a charm to it, don't you think? Ino said. And he kinda looks good too. Yeah, but Sasuke looks incredible, Sakura said. Yeah, but Naruto looks better, and also, did you see him fight? He's way stronger than Sasuke. Well, now I only have to find out how many friends that old man wanted me to make, Naruto thought. Sorry? Tsuki asked. Oh, no, nothing. I'm just happy we're friends now, that's all. Then he continued to mutter, maybe 5? Or maybe I should go safe and do 6, in case. A friend can't hurt, can they? So maybe an extra one would be good too. However, of course, Madara had very often spoke to Naruto about choosing allies that he trusted and friends that would not backstab him. And of course, Naruto heard that speech over 1,000 times, as that was basically Madara's whole story. But Naruto wanted to be a clean slate and wanted to make his own decisions. Of course, with big influence of his grandfather, but he wanted his own mindset and not to be a copy of his grandfather. Naruto, to be honest, I think you're really overthinking this one. Because I think your grandfather just wanted you to have friends, to have some fun. I think he just wanted you to not be lonely, that's all. That could be true. Tsuki, you may be right. You are smart. Oh yeah, also, asking someone if you're friends is kind of not normal. It's usually a casual thing that you just agree on, unspoken. It just kind of happens. You don't ask someone to be their friend. Oh, okay then. Well, I'll try to perfect my skills there too. I need to be perfect after all. Whatever you say, Naruto. Naruto, you really have to learn more about a social life and having friends. I guess you're right, but you still have quite a bit to learn about being a shinobi and becoming stronger. So I guess we all have something to learn. I mean, we are still pretty young, so it's pretty natural for us to have a lot of lacking wisdom. You guys may be right, but I'll still surpass all of you in everything, Sasuke said, kind of joking, but at the same time, actually being serious. Now we skip forward 4 years until the start of the Genin exams for the academy students to finish off their training and education to become full-fledged actual shinobi. But that's going to be it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!